How do you find the will to fight back against a world that wants to keep you sedated, average, and stuck in place? Join us for the tools and strategies you need to create a life of abundance, discipline, and high achievement. This is the Tactical Empire with Jeff Smith.
What's up, everyone? It is Shawn from the Tactical Empire. I'm coming at you solo again today. I want to take a few minutes of your time to talk about something that Jeff and I talk a lot about on two-on-one mentor calls with men that are in the inner circle. And that's talking about the self-inflicted cage that they've created. Most of these men are high-performing men, but they feel trapped in certain areas of their life. It's not so much that they've failed or that everything is going wrong. It just ends up being that they're on a track that may be one or two tracks over from where they truly want to be. And they feel boxed in. They feel caged in, that they can't change anything, or that they shouldn't change anything, or they don't know how to change something without negatively affecting themselves, their businesses, their families, their portfolios. And usually that does come down to a financial impact. They're concerned about that. Okay. So we're going to talk about the cage that you've built by your own doing. Remember, this is self-inflicted. Okay. That is how we accept ownership of the position that we're in. And the issue here is, like, usually the money's pretty good. The business is working. You're respected in your field. You've done well. You have all the things. You have titles. You have accolades. You get bonuses. But behind the scenes, again, you're feeling trapped. You're tired. You're on edge. You get home. You're anxious. You're unhealthy. Your stomach keeps getting bigger. You almost can't see your dick. Okay. That is something that we don't want to happen. Your life is basically on autopilot, even though it feels like you're running at full speed. And here's the deal. You don't know how to stop or change direction. So today we're going to try and fix that. I want you to acknowledge that you have not failed. You've just succeeded slightly in the wrong direction. Your life looks good on paper, okay, but you feel like you're in a cage or a prison. These are because of your own choices. And because you got here from your own choices, it means that you can change and tear a few things down and rebuild them on your terms. Because if you have been making good money, and if you are a good steward of money, you probably have a good backstop to potentially take a short-term backstep in the finances in order to change some of the things, in order to catapult forward. I imagine this is similar to pulling a bow and arrow back, right? We're going to pull the string back, a slingshot back. It looks like we're going in the wrong direction, and then we let go and we fly forward at a new speed and get farther than we ever thought possible. Okay, so step number one is right here. Admit that you've built a cage. Admit the things that you're struggling with. Stop blaming other things. Stop blaming the business. Stop blaming the market. Stop blaming the president. Stop blaming whatever it may be, or your role. This is about your role in the situation. Okay. You created the systems or lack thereof. You created the agreements or lack thereof. You created the expectations or lack thereof on your own time. So if you built it, you can rebuild it, okay? But only after you own it. So step number one is get out a piece of paper, get out a journal, whatever, and start writing down the things that you would do different, all right? This is coming from someone that closed the brick and mortar gym business and within 8 months opened up a different brick and mortar gym business. Years leading up to that, I would do a thought exercise. If I could start this brick and mortar gym business over again, what would I do different? Okay. Now, I literally years later ended up tearing it to the ground and rebuilding a new one back up and changed all the things I wouldn't do. Okay. That's a pretty drastic decision. I could have just altered the current gym that I had, but that would have been a big facelift, and it was in a field that I didn't want to be in, or a methodology I didn't want to be in. So I went, all or nothing route. You don't have to go all or nothing. Once you acknowledge this, okay, you're going to start auditing your energy, not just your schedule. This is part of it, right? What does my schedule look like on a daily basis? All right. But audit your energy. What drains you? Okay. What tasks do no longer fulfill you? What tasks yield results, but you do not like doing? These are things that we're going to look at getting off of our plate over the next 90 days. So track your tasks, track your conversations. What people drain your energy? What team members drain your energy? Okay, what vendors drain your energy? What family members drain your energy? What friends drain your energy? What obligations leave you empty? You've said yes to so many things that those things are pulling you down. So you can't say yes to the handful of things that are going to catapult you forward. Okay. So stop living in this overworked, slight survival mode. Okay. You're misaligned. You're doing things that aren't yielding fruit in the main things of your life, which again are family, fitness, finances, and freedom. So cut, delegate, restructure anything that keeps you operating, that keeps holding you back, so you can operate in your strength zones. So I want you to reestablish. Step number 3 after that would be reestablish your personal non-negotiables. All right. So for a huge non-negotiable for me is my health and wellness and my fitness. Okay. I've gone through a few things over the past 5-6 years, just as everyone, not saying mine are worse or better than anyone else's, but everyone on a scale of struggles. Okay. The big thing my friend told me before, everyone struggles, but suffering is optional. Okay. So even though we all struggle, all right, I want you to determine what your non-negotiables are, regardless of what's going on in your life. For me, it's moving my body. I move my body 5 days a week, sometimes 6. I control the output, 70 to 90% effort that I give. I eat mostly real food. Okay. Here's a little life hack. Most people eat the same 5 things. So you gotta dial in those 5 things, get those 5 things right, and you'll see results when it comes to your health and wellness. Okay. Want you to think about getting in bed and getting more sleep. Rest and recovery is vital. There is a time in your life where you can push and have to push. We all go through seasons like that, but you need to prioritize rest and recovery. All right. If you need it, go get therapy. All right. Go get therapy from a licensed practitioner, professional. All right. If you're not surrounded by another group of men, I'm not saying the Tactical Empire is therapy, but it can be therapeutic because you're going to be surrounded by men that have gone through the things that you're going through or are currently going through those things themselves. And you will recognize that you are not on this road alone. All right. So let's move our bodies. Let's eat better. Those are non-negotiables for me. I want you to reconnect with your vision. Okay. Not just a checklist. So we talked about tasks and things earlier, but what is the actual endpoint? What are you trying to achieve in the next 36 months? We want to do a 1,000-day vision exercise. We want to break that down into a 12-month plan and then 90-day action items. If you do that on repeat every 90 days, and you get extremely clear by telling the truth on what you want in these main areas of your life, the 4Fs, family, fitness, finances, and freedom, all right, you will in turn start making better decisions and you'll feel better about the actions that you're taking. All right. So that takes time, right? We say financial freedom, particularly, is 2 to 7 years away, depending on where you're starting. Okay. Our goal is to talk about 3-year visions, 1-year plans, 90-day action items. All right. That over time compresses time. Our goal at the Tactical Empire is to compress time. And then lastly, design exit ramps. Here's the thing. Every cage needs a door. So how are you going to create systems that don't require you to put out every fire? How are you going to have other people hold you accountable? How are you going to set deadlines? Removing yourself from reactive roles. If you are in a reactive role in your business or life, okay, of course you're going to feel like a firefighter, running around with your head cut off, putting out fires all day long. You need to be in proactive roles. How are we pushing my life forward? Okay, you got to simultaneously give yourself permission to take time off. All right, so I went through Dan Sullivan's strategic coach program over the past 12 months, and they have 3 different days, free days, buffer days, and then I forget the third one. It's like work days, right? So a free day is you don't do any work at all. A buffer day is you do work that preps you for your work days, and then you have your work days, your productive days, okay, your focus days. I believe they call it focus days, all right? When they look at a full year calendar, they suggest that you put your free days on first. Okay. Most people do the opposite. They work, let's say Monday through Friday, the weekend comes and they do prep work or they just work. Very rarely do we take time off. In the United States, particularly, you have 2 weeks, 3 weeks vacation. It's bullshit. It's not enough. Dan Sullivan takes 180 free days a year and he puts them on his calendar first. Okay. That is half the year he's off. Now, I'm a big fan of like a 4-day work week. Okay. So that's not 180 days off, but a 4-day work week where 1 or 2 of those are buffer days and then 1 or 2 of those are pure focus days. Love that. I don't break my days out. Full transparency, I don't break them out into free, buffer, and focus days. I have time blocks on most of my days, Monday through Thursday, where I have my time, personal time, I have my prep time, and I have focus time. All right. So the most things that are on my schedule are free time and focus time. I don't need to do a lot of buffer or prep work. Usually that is admin stuff that I put off, and I only do that maybe once a week at most, usually once every 2 to 3 weeks. I catch up on things that I let pile up. And that's what works for me. A lot of people say that's procrastination, but I'd rather just let something pile up, knock them out in 30 to 60 minutes. It's actually what I'm doing today. I'm recording this podcast. Then I'm going to go write some checks for some bills that have piled up on the desk for some of my LLCs. So ready to rock there. All right. To wrap this episode off, I want to reiterate, you are not broken. Okay. You're stuck in a system that you've outgrown. You're stuck on a path and a vision that has been changed, and you need to acknowledge that. All right. The good news is you've built this so you can break it. You can rebuild it, whatever you need to do. Start today. It's not going to be a big leap, okay? But it starts with a choice. Go back through, listen to the steps, take the actions. This doesn't change overnight. What is your one non-negotiable? What is one thing you're going to cut? What is one role you're going to delegate? What is something that you're going to do proactively as the leader of your family, as the leader of your life, as the leader of your business, or as a high achieving W-2 employee for your company? Okay. The cage opens from the inside. Stop waiting for something externally to change for you to get on a different path and feel better about what you are doing, what you've done, and what you are creating.